Yes lads, welcome back to the channel for another video, and today is a very exciting video to make. It's one that everyone does at the start of the season. It's the one that, you predict the table. I am obviously predicting the League 2 table for the 2022-2023 season. Last season I didn't do that well at all. I got a few predictions absolutely smoked out of the water. I think I put Colchester to finish inside the playoffs or nearly in the playoffs, and they ended up nearly getting relegated, finished, like 18th, 19th, wherever it was. But hopefully this one's going to be a lot better. Like I said, it's a tough league to predict. Any of the EFL leagues are very tough to predict. Like I said, I'm going to go and try and predict it from 24th to 1st in the Sky Bet League 2 table. Before we get on to the video, smash a like on the video, comment your thoughts down below on where you think different teams will finish. Hit the like button as well, and if you do support a team that I predict to finish quite low, then don't pelt me in the comments. It is just my opinion. And yeah, just be nice in the comments, and let's get on with it. 24th place and relegated out of League 2 as bottom, I've gone with Hartlepool United. Now, I've gone with Hartlepool, the players that they've signed. They've brought in players from Scotland who haven't really got the experience of playing in the English leagues. They're young players, and they've signed players from non-league. They've signed Alex Lacey from Notts County, Josh Umara from Wealdstone. Yes, they were good last season in non-league or in the National League respectively. They are not League 2 quality yet. They brought in Alex Lacey, who has played at this, or has played in England with Rotherham United a few seasons ago. So obviously he's got EFL experience for Hartlepool, but I just think it's going to be a very long season for them. Losing Luke Molyneux was a big blow. Luke Molyneux was their best player last season. He was the creative spark. He was the player that was driving them forward, and I think losing him to another League 2 team in Doncaster Rovers was a massive blow, and it's going to be very hard to replace him. Rock bottom, 24th, I've gone with the Pools, Hartlepool United. Sorry, Jeff. 23rd place and joining Hartlepool United in the National League for the 2023-2024 season, I've gone with Harrogate Town. Now, Harrogate Town have avoided relegation in the last 2 seasons, finishing 17th and 19th respectively. A whole new defence has been brought in by Simon Weaver, so already by bringing in a whole new defence, it just completely disrupts the sort of confidence, the camaraderie in the squad, and it just rejiggles the entire stability of that backline. They say, backline is the foundation to work onto a good team, and Harrogate, getting a whole new backline is going to be a worry for them. Jack Diamond has obviously left as well. There's a lot of goals that Jack Diamond did get for Harrogate in scoring and assisting. Who's going to be the man to replace him and his goals? It's going to be a tough year for Harrogate this season. I think they're going to be joining Hartlepool United in the National League and relegated out of League 2. 22nd place and just about surviving relegation, I've gone with Barrow. Now, Barrow, I think, again, will have just enough to stay up. Pete Wild is a decent manager for Barrow. He's not too big and he's not, inexperienced. They did lose a key player in Matty Platt, who left for Bradford City, and Bradford City, someone I'll talk about later on in the video. I think they're going to be a very decent team next season. But they did replace him with George Ray. Like I said, this is a very good signing. George Ray comes in, experience, played for Crewe, Tramier, and most recently Exeter City as well. They've also signed Sam Foley, which is a fantastic signing. Sam McKelland as well from Chelsea on loan. It's a fantastic window for Barrow. I just think that the inexperience of a lot of the squad and, different players coming in. Matty Platt was a massive part for them last season. That's going to be a struggle. I've got Barrow just about to stay up. It will be a difficult season for the Cumbrian side, but I think 22nd place and just about surviving relegation is what Barrow will get. 21st place, I've gone with the Mariners, or the Mariners, Grimsby Town. Following their promotion from the National League, following a 2-1 win against Solihull Moors in the National League playoff final at the London Stadium. They're going to be on the bounce from that and hoping to continue the momentum and the confidence going into the new season. Paul Hurst is the manager, a very, very experienced manager, has been in the Football League with Ipswich Town and, you know, does know how to grind results in the EFL. McAtee is someone that obviously was one of their best players last season. The question is, can he make the step up from National League football to the Football League? The signings they've made Otis Khan from Layton Orient, Bryn Morris from Burton Albion, Anthony Glennon on loan from Burnley, Kieran Green and Neil Maher from Halifax Town. So there's some decent signings in there for Grimsby Town. I'm going to pick out McAtee as the key player for Grimsby. I think it's going to be a tough season again, down at the bottom of the league, but 21st place for Grimsby. 20th place, I've gone for the U's, Colchester United. Now, looking at Colchester United squad, it's a very experienced squad. The likes of Cole Hughes, Freddie Sears, Chambers, Akinde, Alan Judge, Tom Eastman. Unbelievable experience in that Colchester side. Absolute blunders of Football League experience. However, you know, when you've got an aging squad like that, looking at Freddie Sears, John Akinde, Cole Hughes, Alan Judge, you know, Luke Chambers at the back as well. You look at that squad and you're thinking there's so much experience in there, but however, when you start playing 30, 40, you know, 46 games a season, that is going to take its toll on an aging squad. Like I said, can you expect Freddie Sears to be fully fit for 46 games, or Cole Skuse, or Luke Chambers, John Akinde? It's tough. It is going to be tough on that squad. And that's why I think they will just about stay up. I don't think they'll go down due to the experience, but I don't think they're going to finish mid-table, top half, due to the age of the squad and not being able to keep it fresh enough. And they haven't really done much in the transfer window. They've lost Shamal George as well to Livingston, which again is another decent loss for Colchester. So I'm going to go 20th place. For 19th place, I've gone with Dale Rochdale. I think a squad that, you know, this squad is decent. They ended the season very poor last season. Beat us on the final day, of course, 2-0. But it's a squad that I think has got a lot of talent, and the squad that they had last season was decent. They've lost Conor Grant, but they have brought back Ian Henderson, who was a bit of a Rochdale legend, to be fair. Scored over 100 goals for Dale in his career for them. And not just that, they've brought in Ebanks Landell from Shrewsbury, brought in Tyree Sinclair and Devante Rodney from Mansfield and Walsall, respectively. So there is definitely a lot of talent in this Rochdale squad. The only thing that I think will sort of fall to them is Stockdale. I don't know if Robbie Stockdale is the right man to take Rochdale forward and the right man to get them out of League 2 on the up, not the down, because, you know, it could go really wrong and they could be relegated. But I don't think that would be the extreme for Rochdale next season. I think the lack of depth is going to be the thing that falters them, and the lack of experience in that depth. They've not got many you know, big experienced players. They've got Ebanks Landell, Ian Henderson, a couple of, you know, really experienced players in the EFL, but apart from that, the squad depth isn't that big, and the squad's not big. So it's going to be a difficult season, but 19th place. In 18th place, I've gone with Stevenage. Now, I've seen a lot of predictions and a lot of people saying Stevenage will get relegated out of League 2. I'm on the opinion that they won't. I think there's a lot of factors of why they won't get relegated this season. The first factor is their manager, Steve Evans. He knows exactly what he's doing at this level. A very, very accomplished manager in the EFL. Yes, it's not the most exciting football to watch. It's not entertaining, but he will get results. He will grind out results. They did let a lot of players go, including Ed Upson, Chris Lyons, Luke O'Neill, but the signings they've brought in, some very, very good additions to the squad. Aaron Chapman, goalkeeper from Gillingham. They've brought in Michael Bostwick, Carl Piergiani, Dan Sweeney, Kane Smith, Max Clark, Jordan Roberts, Dean Campbell and Danny Rose. I believe they've also brought in Ashby Hammond as well as the goalkeeper on loan from Fulham. It's a very, very... The thing is with Stevenage, it's so many out, so many in, so it could go terribly wrong. But I think the 14 players that left needed to go. And I think the players that have been brought in, basically, I think they're the right ones to take Stevenage forward. I wouldn't say they're going to finish, you know, top half playoffs, nothing like that. I think it'll be bottom half for them. A couple of, you know, dodgy parts to the season, but as a whole, I think Stevenage will be fine and finishing in 17th place. I've gone with Sutton United, a team that has lost quite a few key players. Dean Bazanis went to Reading on a free transfer, was replaced by Jack Rose from Walsall. Lost David Ajiboye, who was absolutely fantastic for him last season. I did say in my Sutton home vlog that he's an absolute fantastic player. He will play in the Championship or League One next season. He's gone to Peterborough United, who probably will be towards the top end of League One in that. So losing him is obviously massive. Isaac Olofe, they've also lost as well. He scored 9 goals last season, which is you know, a big miss. Obviously gone back to Millwall after his loan spell. Luke Gambin and Quayne Thomas have both been brought in. Josh Neufeld as well has been brought into the door at Gander Green Lane. But I do see the loss of Ajiboye and Olofi and Bouzanis between the sticks as a massive, massive loss. I do think they'll stay up, but it'll be nothing like last season. Nowhere near a playoff push. 17th place for Sutton United. 16th place, I've gone with Crewe Alexandra. The Railway Men got relegated from League One last season, and it was an absolute disastrous season. David Artell did lose his job, and Alex Morris, the academy manager, took over. Like I said, absolutely disastrous. Finished bottom of the league. But however, they have built on the squad from last season with the signings of Calvin Mellor and Rod McDonald, both coming from Carlisle. Connor Thomas and Charlie Colkett have both joined Crewe Alexandra from Cheltenham. Courtney Baker-Richardson obviously signed from Newport County. Despite those signings, I do still see a lack in experience. There's still a lot of that squad that is young, despite Rod McDonald and Calvin Mellor, who are very experienced at EFL level. I do see a slight inexperience amongst the Crewe Alexandra side. I don't think it'll be a back-to-back or, you know, a bounce back up to League One. I think it'll be mid-table for them this season. Comfortably in mid-table as well. I don't see any threat of relegation, but just not enough to push into those top 7 places. 15th place, I've gone for the Cumbrians, Carlisle United. I don't see many, you know, sparks of real quality apart from Callum Guy and potentially Omari Patrick. Thomas Holy has joined them this season from Ipswich Town following the departure of Mark Howard. Also brought in Ryan Edmondson from Leeds, Sonny Hilton on loan from Fulham, and Ben Barkley from Stockport County, as well as Owen Moxon from Annan Athletic. I do still see that team as quite light. They've lost Joe Riley, Rod McDonald, Kevin Mellor, like I said, Mark Howard as well, which I think was their best player last season, or one of their best players. It's a tough season for Carlisle United, but you look at that squad, it is 10 times you know, the squad there was last season. I think it's just not good enough to push on in towards the top half and top 7. The squad is definitely good enough to stay in the division. There is, you know, the teams below them are definitely, you know, worse off than Carlisle, so they will comfortably survive. It's just about, can they make that push in towards the top half? I think not, personally, but it'd be interesting to see for Carlisle United. I've gone in 14th place. I've gone with Crawley Town. Now, this one might be a bit of a wild prediction, putting Crawley this low. They did finish 12th last season, and the signings they've made are very, very good and very astute signings to the squad. The only reason I've gone with 14th is, yes, they've signed Dom Telford, and look, Dom Telford leaving Newport for Crawley annoyed me. It upset me a little bit, to be honest, but, you know, he's made the move, he's there, so can't change any of that. But I just don't think Dom Telford is going to score the goals that he did last season. He scored 26 goals in all competitions for us last season, and that wasn't just based off him, it was based off the creativity of Finn Azaz, Ollie Cooper, Jake Kane, James Waite, and a few others. So I just don't think he's going to score as many as he did last season. Look, I wish him all the well. I'm not going to be salty about it. He's not with us anymore. Move on. But I just don't think he's going to score the goals that he did last season. Travis Johnson and Dion Conroy also joined from Crewe and Swindon respectively, as well as James Balagazi on a season-long loan deal from Liverpool, who's actually tipped to be one of, you know, bright stars for Jurgen Klopp in the next few years. So there are decent signings in there. Again, I'm worried about Betsy. I don't know if Betsy is the right man to take them forward. It's going to be interesting, going to be very interesting. I've gone Crawley to finish 14th, just below the top half. Look, I'm expecting fans to get their opinions in the comments, but yeah, 13th place and just in the bottom half of the table, I've gone with League One relegated side, AFC Wimbledon. Now, I'm probably going to get slated for this one as well with the signings they've made. They've brought in Chris Gunter, they've brought in Alex Pearce from Millwall, However, there's a massive blow for them, and that is the loss of Jack Redoney has gone to Huddersfield Town. 12 goals last season, I think 9 assists as well. Look, that's a massive loss for AFC Wimbledon. Jack Redoney, probably one of the best players in League One last season, was absolutely outstanding. And quite understandably, a lot of teams were looking at him, including some Premier League teams. So you can see why that is a massive loss. The goals that he had, the creativity that he had, is definitely something that is going to hurt them very much. And that's why I just think they're going to fall just below. And also Ben Hennigan as well was absolutely fantastic for them last season. He's gone to Sheffield Wednesday, so I do see a lot of frailties in the Wimbledon squad. However, there are some decent signings in there, like I said. Alex Pearce, Chris Gunter, both know exactly how to play the game, that's for sure. So it's going to be an interesting season for Wimbledon. I've gone just below top half, 13th place for the Dons. Into the top 12, then in towards the top half of the Sky Bet League 2 table. I've gone with Tramier Rovers. Now, a lot of people will be saying, how the hell have you not put Tramier inside the playoffs? I think the squad is definitely good enough for the playoffs. Players that have come in: John Nolan, Reece McClear and Paul Lewis from Northampton. They've let go of Jay Spearing and Sam Foley. And Ben Hockenhull has left the club to Brentford. Nathaniel Knight, Percival and Peter Clark have also left as well. They've brought in Ross Dewan from Celtic. And they've also kept hold of Kieran Morris and Josh Hawkes. Already strengthened squad. However, I do think that under Mickey Mellon, the difficulty of Mickey Mellon's football is, I hate him, but I'm not going to use that against any sort of prediction. But I just think his football is so sort of outdated, and that teams can just completely play them off the park if they use the right tactics. That's why I think they'll just fall short of the playoffs, just to the fact that they're not going to be refreshed. There are going to be teams that can just go up against Tranmere and say, well, we know exactly how you're going to play, we'll implement our game and then beat you. That's why I think they're just a few places off the playoffs. I don't think it'll be a bad season. I think they may even have a decent little cup run or something like that. But yeah, 12th place for Tranmere. It's a difficult season to predict, and I don't think Tranmere will be able to cut the mustard off the playoffs. In 11th place, I've gone with Layton Orient, a very, very interesting side next season. They've got a very solid team. They're going to have a solid year. I think they will be close to the playoffs and close to a top 7 finish. But I just think they will fall short. They did let go of, or didn't let go, but had to lose Hector Cipriano to Peterborough United. However, they have brought in George Moncur from Hull City, former Luton Town midfielder as well. Dropped down from the Championship to join Layton Orient. And not just that, he still had 1 year left on his contract. So it's a massive coup for Layton Orient to bring him to the club despite still having a year contract at Hull City. Theo Archibald is brought in as well from Lincoln. They've also managed to keep hold of Sotriou, who scored 10 goals for them last season. They've also got the likes of Shadrach, Oggy, Darren Pratley, Omar Beckles. It's a very, very good squad. A blend of youth and excitingness, and a blend with experience and know-how for this league. I really think this is a solid team that could really push on. Richie Wellens, again, is a very good manager. Promotion with Swindon in 2020. Knows exactly how to get out of this league. Like I said, he's got experience with Swindon. He's been managing of Doncaster and both Salford. I think it's a very, very good squad. They're going to feel a bit unfortunate if they don't make the playoffs. I've gone 11th place for Layton Orient. 10th place, I've gone for Doncaster Rovers, another recently relegated side that I think is just going to fall short of the top 7. They've brought in George Miller from Barnsley, also Luke Molyneux, an absolutely fantastic signing from Hartlepool United. Harrison Biggins from Fleetwood Town, like I said, Josh Andrews, Tommy Rowe, Adam Clayton and John Taylor have all stayed, including Aidan Barlow, Liam Ravenhill and Josh Holloway. Like I said, it's an absolutely stacked squad with, again, both experience and exciting youthness in the squad. However, I'm not sure if McSheffrey is going to be the right man to take Doncaster up. I'm banking on McSheffrey staying the whole season. Potentially, if they were to get another manager in, someone who could probably, I wouldn't say tactically get the squad going, but someone who could blend the youth and the experience together in a much better way, could potentially get the best out of this Doncaster Rovers side. I think the best out of this side is top 7, maybe even top 3, but I just don't think they're going to cut the mustard. I'm going to go 10th for Doncaster. It will be a very tough season if they don't get the top 7, because that top 7 race is very, very intriguing. In 9th place, I've gone for the Gillingham. Again, this is a very difficult one to put in 9th place. I do believe that I'm going to get a lot of stick from Gillingham fans, and rightly so, because they could easily be in the top 7 and top 3. I just do think that they are going to miss out on the playoffs by a couple of places. Brought in some very good signings. Scott Casket, Michael Mandron coming through, Sean Williams following his release by Portsmouth, Max Emma obviously keeping Stuart O'Keefe and Ben Reeves. It's going to be a very, very good season for them. I think the sign of Elkin Baggett is a fantastic bit of business. Jack Tucker going to MK Dons is a blow, but I'm looking at the squad, and obviously Neil Harris. You don't need to say much more about Neil Harris. I think the manager is an absolutely unbelievable manager for this level. Been managed at Championship level with Millwall and Cardiff City. I think it's going to be tough for Gillingham to get out of the league. I think they were wrongly relegated last season. I think it should have been Fleetwood that got relegated instead of the Gills. But it was Gillingham that got relegated. I like Ryan Jackson, but also I do think the loss of Verdane Oliver and the loss of his goals are going to be key. It's going to be an interesting season for the Gills. I've got them to finish in 8th place. And the final team to miss out on the League 2 playoffs next season, in my opinion, is Walsall. Now, Walsall are a team that before Mike Flynn, former Newport manager, were absolutely awful. Mike Flynn came in, steadied the ship, made them a lot better on the eye and getting results here and there as well, which helped them push up to finish 16th in the end last season. Signed Peter Clark and Andy Williams as 2 absolutely fantastic signings, along with Isaac Hutchinson, Joe Riley, Brandon Comley, and you know, that is, you look at that window, Hutchinson, Riley and Comley, as well as Clark and Andy Williams. Yes, they have lost Emmanuel Osadebe, is a big, big loss. Also, Devante Rodney out of the door as well. I do think it'll be a difficult season for Walsall. Yes, Michael Flynn has the experience. Yes, he has the know-how of getting top 7 in this league. It's going to be a tough one to get into. Obviously, there's a lot of teams in the top 7 and in the top 10 that have been in the playoffs in the last 4 seasons. Walsall haven't done that yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how Mike Flynn can turn the Walsall side around from 16th to potentially a playoff side. It's a big jump from 16th into the top, 7, top 5. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mike Flynn has or can do basically with this Walsall side. I'm going to predict them 8th and just to miss 7th. Then I've gone with my boys Newport County. I did a prediction on someone else's stream about a week or so ago, maybe more than that, saying we'll finish inside the top 3. I doubt that. I'm looking at the rest of the teams in and around us. I just don't think top 3 is going to be viable. I think it will be playoffs for us this season. Yes, Dom Talford has left. We've also lost Ryan Haynes, Courtney Baker-Richardson. Finn Azaz has gone back from his loan. Ollie Cooper, Jake Kane. There are quite a few players that have gone from the side that finished very poorly at the end of last season. However, I like the signing of Omar Bogle. I think that's a very astute signing. I like the signing of Aaron Wilding, very experienced midfielder for this level. Declan Drysdale's a fantastic signing as well. Adam Lewis will add depth to the fullback area, and I think Afrande Zanzala and Chanka Zimba will battle for that striker spot as well as Omar Bogle. I think it will be a tough season at times, but I think we're going to have enough. I think James Rowbury seems to know what he's doing, seems to be tactically astute. We have a few options of play. We can play with the 5 at the back, with the wing backs, or we can play with the 4 at the back. I do like the way we play, and I think there's different options of we can play during the game, and I think he has good in-game management. It's going to be a difficult season to predict the top 7. I think we'll finish in 7th place. I've gone with the Ammies, the class of '92 Salford City. Now, I know a lot of people will be screaming, saying, for God's sake, stop predicting Salford inside the top 7. I think this will finally be the time they get inside the top 7 of League 2. Some very, very good signings. Stephen Mallon, Elliot Watt, Elliot Simios also signed. Also brought in Ryan Leake from League 1 side Burton Albion. Yes, they've lost Josh Morris, Ian Henderson, Donald Love, Ashley Hunter. I still think that those signings they've made, along with the sign of Callum Hendry from St Johnstone, who scored 9 goals in 26 last season, I think that, along with the players like Ibu Toure, Matt Smith, Thomas Asante, I think is a very, very good striker at this level, could be the answer to get Salford inside the top 7. I do think the worrying question mark that lies over Salford's shoulders is Neil Wood, obviously signed as manager from Manchester United's under-23s. The inexperience of Neil Wood is definitely going to take its toll towards the back end of the season, which is why I don't think they'll make automatics, but playoffs is definitely where I think they'll finish. 6th place for Salford. 5th place, I've gone with the new boys at Stockport County. Now, this is probably going to end up with egg on my face. I'm not too sure if it is. Look, Stockport fans, let me know in the chat if you think this is realistic, but I've gone for Stockport County to finish 5th. An unbelievable season last season, won the Vanarama National League, and they're going to continue that momentum, continue that confidence going into this season. When they did get promoted, they have signed some of the best players from the National League. Signed Joe Lewis and Connor Lemon Evans from Torquay United, Akil Wright from York City, and Kyle Watton, who did score 26 goals in all competitions last season. Not just that they brought in from non-league, they've also brought in Callum Camps from League 1 side Fleetwood Town, Vit Jaros from Liverpool on loan, and probably one of the best centre-backs last season, also in non-league, in League 2, was Fraser Horsfall from Northampton. Not just absolutely solid at the back, also scored 9 goals from defence for Northampton Town. A very, very strong side that is going into the Football League, and you do see some teams do a double promotion. I really could see Stockport County potentially doing a double promotion. Wotton up front is back in the Football League as well. Let's see how he can, sort of adjust to life back in the Football League. I'm going to go 5th. It is a big, big statement, but I'm going to go 5th place, Stockport County. 4th place, I've gone for Swindon Town. Finished inside the playoffs last season, and I'm going for them to finish inside the playoffs again. First of all, Harry McCurdy, 23 goals in all competitions last season. Absolutely steered them into the playoffs, and without his goals, I doubt they would have been inside the playoffs. They've also kept hold of Johnny Williams, Lewis Reed and Ben Gladwin, adding that with the new signing, of Angus MacDonald from Rotherham, Ronan Darcy from Bolton Wanderers, Tyrese Shade on loan from Leicester City. It's a very strong squad that that Swindon have to their disposal. Garner, like I said, did leave for Charlton and lost 3 very important players that went with him. Jack Payne, Joe Wallacott and Mandela Egbo all went to Charlton Athletic with Ben Garner. That's a massive blow for them. I do think that they could still potentially be in the playoffs. I think they will be in the playoffs. Scott Lindsay, formerly of I can't remember where he was actually, but him coming in, basically looking at that Swindon Town side, still got Harry McCurdy, still got Johnny Williams, still got Lewis Reed, still got Ben Gladwin, and he's brought in some very good players in the likes of Ronan Darcy, Tyrese Shade, and obviously Angus MacDonald as well. So it's a difficult season for Swindon after losing a lot of key players and their manager, but I do think the new reign at Swindon Town will guide them into 4th. In 3rd place, I've gone for the Stags at Mansfield Town. A very impressive season last year. Lost in the playoff final to Port Vale to, in the end to miss out on the promotion to League 1. First choice goalkeeper Nathan Bishop obviously returned to Manchester United, while Matty Longstaff returned to Newcastle United. Very, very good signings that they've brought in. Christy Pym and Scott Flinders, both to challenge for the the number 1 spot. And they've also brought in Hiram Boateng from MK Dons, a fantastic signing. Will Swan and Riley Harbottle also on loan from Premiership squads. Look, I really do like the fact the signings they've made. They've brought in Hiram Boateng's a fantastic signing. They've brought in two very good goalkeepers at this level, Prim and Flinders. They've brought in Will Swan, who's a very, very good striker from Nottingham Forest, and also Riley Harbottle. And they've got an unbelievable manager there. Nigel Clough is, you know, absolutely unbelievable. I think looking at that squad and looking at the manager, it's just unbelievable. And also we've got Rhys Oates, Lucas Akins, Stephen Quinn. There is a lot of talent in that Mansfield squad. They've always been in and around the top 7 pretty much for the last 5 or 6 seasons. Us and Mansfield are actually the longest serving League 2 team, so they'll want to get out of League 2 this season, and I think they will in second place. And just missing out on the Sky Bet League 2 title, I've gone with the Cobblers, Northampton Town. Now yes, they lost a lot of players last season, and that was obviously down to not getting promoted. They probably should have got promoted if it wasn't for Bristol Rovers absolutely hammering Scunthorpe on the final day. Fraser Horsfall left for Stockport County, but was replaced by Sam Shering of Bournemouth and Akin Odemeo from AFC Wimbledon. They also lost Liam Roberts to Championship side Middlesbrough, but replaced him with Lee Burge. And what a signing! Danny Hilton signed from Luton Town. He's already been scoring goals in pre-season. A fantastic striker at this level, alongside Kieran Bowie on loan from Fulham. Look, I think the squad that they have is very, very strong. Despite losing Horsfall, you've got an unbelievable striker in Danny Hilton. I think he will bag goals for them, and I think that'll generally be, you know, what gets them over the line. It is a very good squad. It's a very good squad. Obviously, Ryan Haynes, they signed from us as well. Manager John Brady, I think he's done an excellent job to get these players. Yes, he's lost Horsfall, and yes, he's lost Liam Roberts in between the sticks, but he's managed to get players from, you know, the teams in and around the leagues. Obviously from AFC Wimbledon. Obviously brought in Odemeo from Swindon, and obviously bringing Danny Hilton down from the Championship is a massive signing. So I do think they will be up there next season. I've gone Northampton Town to finish in second to win the 2022-2023 League 2 title. I've gone with the Bantams, Bradford City. Now, there is just unbelievable amount of business that they've done. They've probably done business that League 1 clubs would, and maybe even Championship clubs would be envy of. Matt Hughes obviously is a very good manager for this level. The signings they've made: Harry Lewis from Southampton, Richard O'Donnell, Matty Platt from Barrow, Brad Halliday, Timmy Odesina, Romley Critchlow, even more, Richie Smallwood from Hull City, Ossa Davey from Walsall, Ryan East from Swindon, Harry Chapman from Blackburn, Jamie Walker from Hearts, Verdane Oliver from Gillingham. Look, it's a fantastic squad. It's an absolutely fantastic squad. The manager is absolutely amazing. Look, he's probably one of the best managers in the league, based off heritage, based off what he is, and they've probably got the best squad in the league. I think they are favourites to win the League 2 title. I've got them down to win the League 2 title. Just look at the squad they have on paper: Richard Smallwood, Lewis, Halliday, Chapman, Oliver, Osadebe, Platt. And, you know, add that to what they had last season: Andy Cook, Aisha. The squad is absolutely stacked with talent, stacked with ability, stacked with experience. I think it's going to be a fantastic season for Bradford. I think they will lift the League 2 title. And there we are, guys. Those are my 2022-2023 Sky Bet League 2 predictions. Let me know how you think I've done in the comment section below. Obviously, this is as a premiere, so let me know in the live chat as well, going through each of the teams, how you think I've done. Comment your predictions or your table predictions down below. Give us a like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications on so you know exactly when I post a new video, whether that's Newport County or League 2 related. So please make sure to do that. I'll see you in the next one. Tomorrow's video is Game Week 1 predictions. Then we've got the Sutton vs Newport match preview. Saturday is the match vlog. Football is back. Like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.